Hi, how you doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Hope everybody's doing okay today. The Coronas drama and saga continues. Well, good news is that at least that looks like New York might be leveling off. That's some good news. Okay, today I'm going to do a video on my favorite 3.5-inch folders from Cold Steel. These are all my favorite 3.5-inch folders. Some of them are a little bit over 3.5 inches, and between, like, let's say 3 3/4 and 3.5 inches, somewhere around there. But close enough. They're close enough to be 3.5 inches. I call them 3.5 inches. But anyway, these are my favorites from Cold Steel. All of these I would highly recommend. This one right here, I haven't done a video on this one. This is the newest one. It's a Cold Steel Lite. It has a Japanese Oz 10 blade steel. It has a saber ground blade. It's not hollow ground, it's a saber ground. Flat ground from it's like a high hollow. I mean a high flat grind, not high hollow, high flat grind. It's a beautiful grind on the blade. Both sides are symmetrical. They did an excellent job in grinding these blades, or this one, should I say. And this also comes in a spear point also. I want to get one of those too, just check it out, because I really like this one. It only weighs 3.1 ounces. It has a 3mm blade stock. It has a G10 handle scales, or handles, with a G10 back spacer. Stainless steel pocket clip. It's good for both sides. They have one for this side too. Excellent little knife. I love it. Highly recommend it. This is one of those kind of knives that you carry in your pocket and you totally forget about it. It's nicely balanced. Be great for a self-defense knife also. Feels good in all grips. I highly recommend it. But anyway, this is the only one. I'll give you a little introduction to this one, because it's the only one I have never talked about before. I think all these other ones I've talked about before. Made videos on them. That's what I mean by talked about them before. But anyway, let's get back to it. These are my #1 favorite 3.5-inch blades from Cold Steel. Some of them aren't in production anymore. Like this one's not in production anymore. This one's not in production anymore because this is a CTS XHP knife. This one's not in production because they just stopped making this model knife. This is CTS XHP also. This one's not in production anymore because it's a CTS XHP. This one's not in production anymore because it's a CTS XHP. But they still make the knife though. They make it in a new S35VN. Same thing with this one. This one's a CTS XHP also. Okay. Well, let's introduce them. This is the American Lawman. This is Stormcloud. This is the Lite. This is the Code 4. This is Tiger Claw. This is medium Spyder. AK-47. Goldeneye. 8010 and 8015. That's who's here today. These are my top 10 3.5-inch folders that I like the best. Out of all 3.5-inch folders I've come across or I've used. These are my favorites. Okay, let's start off with this one. This would be number 10 out of 10. I've got these all ranked in order. And the reason why it's the number 10, even though I love the construction of it, I love the way it's built, and I've always wanted an 8015. I've been wanting one of these forever, but I didn't want to spend the money for it. And when Andrew Dimko allowed Cold Steel to make his knife, I had to have it. This is probably the closest I ever get to one. I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful knife. I've been wanting it for a long time. I was super eager to get it. But the only thing I dislike about it is that it's heavy. It's a very heavy knife. And so, because it's heavy, I've carried it a few times and I just decided it was just too heavy for me to carry. But I stopped carrying it. I put it back in the pile, I put it back in the safe. It's become a collector. Because I took it out my rotation drawer because it's too heavy for me to carry. I would love it if Andrew Dimko got together with Cold Steel and they made a lighter version, or made like a longer version. I sort of wish it was a 4-inch blade. Made a longer version, maybe with a little bit thinner blade stock, and make it just a little bit more lightweight. Absolutely love it though. Excellent knife. Number 9 is the AD10. This is another knife I've always wanted. I've been wanting one of these for years, but you know, I'm not a rich man, so you know, I had to put it in the back burner. You know, I get other things first. But I absolutely love it. I got 2 of these. This one has a it's not a hollow ground. It's got the saber ground blade. It's full flat grind it's like a high flat grind, or saber grind, whatever you want to call it. The first one I got was a hollow grind. This one's saber ground. I absolutely love this knife. Both of them are super smooth. They got S35VN. All these are S35VN. Yep, S35VN. All these are S35VN. All of them got thick blade stock. But for the same reason that I don't like to carry this one, I don't like to carry this one, because it's too heavy for me. I like carrying lighter weight knives. But I love this knife. It'll be a collector. I will never sell it. It's going to be my collection. I love it. It's my AD10. Next one up is a knife that I really like, but I just don't like the packaging of it. This is number 8 on my list. Or, is that right? No. Yep, number 8 on my list. And what I don't like about this one is the naming, and I don't like the gold finishing. I don't like the name Goldeneye. Makes you feel like you're trying to pretend like you're a spy or something, you know what I mean? But the knife is a beautiful knife. It's a hollow ground Tonto. I love it. I love Tonto blades. This is a beautiful Tonto blade. I love the opening system on this. The opening system on this works really nice. It's sort of like a Spyder opening with traction. That's the way I can explain it to you. It's a real nice system to have. It works very well. But I just don't like the gold pocket clip. I wish it would have just been a regular silver pocket clip. And I wish this had been silver. And I wish they would have gave it a different name than Goldeneye. Because the Goldeneye name just turns me off. It's sort of like the broken skull on the Lone Star copy that Steve Austin claims, I guess, that he designed or whatever. But it looks to me just like a Cold Steel Lone Star that's with G10 handles and better blade steel. But this is nice. This is a really nice knife. If the name doesn't bother you, and you don't mind the flashy accents and stuff like that, this is a good knife. It's a beautiful knife. I believe this is, I'm not sure, it looks like 3.5 millimeter blade stock. I can't remember what it is. But it's a very stout filling knife. It's not a dinky knife. It feels like it can handle good abuse and hard work. Next one up on the line would be number 7. Would be one of my favorite old timers, the AK-47. This is the last one I bought. It has CTSX HP with the OD green G10 handle scales. And an aluminum piece right here that I guess you could use as like a less than lethal weapon or blunt weapon. It's got the Dimco wave plate, so you can open it out of your pocket. It's got a hollow ground blade, CTSX HP blade. This one has CTSX HP, and the blade thickness on it is 3.5 millimeters. It's an excellent knife. I've been carrying these. I was carrying these. It's one of the first ones I carried. This one and the Recon 1 were like the first ones I really carried. And I brought this one out just to show you the first one I carried. And this is the Oz 8 one. I carried this one a lot. I took off the Tough X finish off of it. And it had like a stonewash finish underneath it. But that's the one I carried for a long time. I love these. the first ones out of these have the Ultra Lock, which is basically an access lock. Cold Steel used to have the access lock too, like Benchmade. Benchmade's the one that invented it, and then Cold Steel had it for a minute. But then their access lock to me never worked as good as like the Benchmade access lock. So I only got a couple of these. This is the AK-47, had Oz 8, Tough X finish. It's just a collector for me. I just want to show you guys, for people that probably never seen that locking setup on a Cold Steel knife. Here's the other one that they had. This one had metal handles. All right. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Well, that was number 7 for me. The AK-47. To me, it's a Cold Steel classic. But the reason why it's number 7 and it's not higher up in these numbers right now is because at first when I started carrying Cold Steels, I was carrying the heavier knives. I like the Recon 1, and I was carrying a lot of the 5.5 inch bladed knives, like the Voyagers and the Tau Wars and the Spadas and the Thai Lights. You know, that's back when the area that I live in didn't have any blade limits, so you can carry whatever you wanted to. I was carrying a lot of those bigger knives and heavier knives, so when I carried this, it felt light. And so, you know, I used to like to carry this one, I used to like to carry the Recon 1, I used to like to carry the Tau War this size all the time. And the Spyder. But now I've evolved, and I like lighter weight knives better because personally I have a flat butt, and heavier knives pull down my pants. And so I started getting into lighter weight knives that still had the length where they could be still a good self-defense knife, because that's one of the reasons why I carry a knife. It's not just for everyday chores or cutting tasks. I also like knives that can be used for dire need. You know, when your life is in danger and that's the only thing you got to depend on is your pocket knife. I want to have a pocket knife that I can depend on. That's the main reason why I like Cold Steel knives, because I like the Triad lock. Triad lock, to me, is the strongest lock on the market. I don't think there's, there are, other knives that are like bigger and heavy duty and stuff like that, but with a Triad lock, you can make a lightweight knife and have a super strong locking mechanism. It doesn't cause the knife to have to weigh a lot. The Triad lock. It's just like a lock back. Okay, with the stop pant. Okay, let me get back to what I was doing here. But here's another one of my favorites. This is number 6 on my list. Cold Steel Spyder. I've been carrying these for years too. Absolutely love it. And the reason why it's so low on my list, or number 6, I shouldn't say so low, but number 6, is because it's heavy. This is a 4mm blade stock. Even though it's hollow ground, it's still pretty heavy. It's got thick blade stock. It's got partial stainless steel liners that support the lock bar mechanism, the Triad lock. And it's got thick G10 scales. So it's a pretty stout little knife. I've been carrying these ever since they came out too. It's an excellent knife. I don't know why they stopped making it. It's another excellent knife. For people who like a little bit more stout knife. Me, I've gotten into the lighter knives, but this one, number 5. 3.5mm blade stock. This is CTS XHP. This one I've carried a lot. I absolutely love the Tiger Claw. It works really good with your gym clothes. Like if you wear sweatpants going to the gym to go lift weights or something, this works good in your sweatpants. And it draws like really nice. But this one's been polished and sort of tricked out. I try to keep it looking stock as possible. But I went into this one and polished it all out. Just because I knew it was going to be carrying a lot. And usually knives I carry a lot, I like to polish them a lot. Because I just wanted to act as, maybe operate as smooth as possible. And that's how this one is. And the draw is really nice. This one to me, the Cold Steel Tiger Claw Karambit is just a self-defense knife. It's purely just for self-defense. This one's fully serrated. I only carry it when I feel like I just want a self-defense knife. I know I'm not going to be doing any cutting stuff, like when I'm going to the gym. I just got my sweats on. This is just my little safety thing. And when I get to the gym, I put it in a locker. Go do my workout. But I ride motorcycles, so, you know, I always like to have something on me because there's lots of crazy people. But I love this knife. This is an excellent knife. Highly recommend it. It's light, and the way that this handle is, it just draws like really nicely. Excellent knife. Highly recommend the Cold Steel Tiger Claw Karambit. If you like karambits or whatever, that's a nice one. It's nice. It's like a heavy duty karambit. Most karambits are kind of small and dinky. This one's like a big heavy duty one. That's the way I explain it, describe it. Next one up on the line, number 4, is the Cove 4. 3.5mm blade stock. This one's CTS XHP. It's got 6061 aluminum handle scales. It's got 6060 aluminum backspacer. Very nice. Tonto blade with a hollow grind and a chisel ground tip. The reason why I got this one is because I wanted a knife that wouldn't tear up my pants. And so I got one of these. The first one I got was a Oz 8 one. This is the second one. Absolutely love it. It's a great knife. Highly recommend it. Cove 4. And they come in a spear point and a clip blade. If you don't like this one. Same thing with this one. This one comes in, I think it's a spear. I think it's a spear point. The Goldeneye. That's your other blade choice. This one comes in a spear point. Next up on the list is my new favorite. Got the Oz 10 3mm blade. Only weighs 3.1 ounces. Super lightweight. G10 handle scales. I love it. G10 backspacer. Tri lock, of course. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. That's why I like Tontos. One reason why I like Tontos is because they're thick all the way to the tip. Just about. They give you a real strong blade that can be used for all sorts of stuff that you may need it, use it for. Alright, we already talked about this. I'm not going to go too far in depth in this one. This one has a saber ground blade. Doesn't have a hollow ground blade. Next up on the list is a Storm Cloud. It's got the Andrew Dimko wave feature. Thumb plate. It's got handles that are laminated carbon fiber over G10. And they're really nice. It's got a 20 CV blade. This one's saber ground also. This grind's unique to the Storm Cloud, just like the Airlight's grind's unique to the Airlight. Absolutely love this knife. I've carried it a lot. It's a great blade. Highly recommend it. That's my second favorite. My number one favorite of all time for 3.5-inch blades, triad blades, cold steel blades, and your Dimco knives is the American Lawman. That one's number one. I've been loving these ever since they came out. American Lawman to me is like what I would call the perfect EDC. It doesn't scare people. It doesn't have a blade that scares people, but yet it's a blade that's good for not only for utility use, but it'd be good for self-defense use too. Hopefully I'll never have to use it like that. But this would be a good self-defense knife. It's good in all grips. And even got a nice forward grip. One that your finger doesn't hit the blade. I love it. And it's super comfortable to carry, super lightweight. This is a newer type model. This is one with the CTS XHP. The newest one has S35VN, but they're exactly the same. Just different blade steels. They have the same handle scales. These are the newer type handle scales that are flat and less texturized, a lot thinner. Let me see what the older one looked like. Here's one of my old ones. Compare the two. This one came black too. I took all the black finish off it and I polished it. I didn't like the Tough X finish. But this knife right here, to me, is the smoothest operating cold steel knife that has ever been made. This one and the new 8010. The 8010 operates very nicely too. But the old Oz 8, cold steel Lawman, American Lawman, it's just so smooth. I mean, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like butter. I mean, it feels like, it's like the smoothest knife ever. And I don't know why. I think they just got the spring tension on these right. I think when they made these, they got the spring tension right on them for the torsion bar spring. Because you see, this knife has no wobble, no wiggle, no wobble, no wiggle, no up and down, none of that. And the blade's not loose, it's tight. So I like my blades fairly tight. Centers out perfectly. No wobble, no wiggle. No, doesn't make any noise when you shake it or anything. Excellent knife. I think maybe when they made these, the tolerances were just right. But you know what? It's almost worth it to go get an old Oz 8 one, because if you haven't experienced one of these, you should try it out. But American Lawman is my favorite. For small 3.5, I call it, to me a 3.5-inch knife is a small knife. For 3.5-inch knives, this is my favorite 3.5-inch knife. I like it because it's lightweight, weighs about 4 ounces or something like that. But it's lightweight. It's got a 3.5-inch millimeter blade. It's got pretty nice stout blade all the way up to the tip. It's good for cutting just about anything, slicing, cutting. Holds a good edge. Excellent knife. If you want a knife for work, to wear to work, or for everyday EDC that can also be a good self-defense weapon, this is it. To me, this is what I would call a perfect EDC. American Lawman. Well, that's about it. Oh, I just want to show you my old Lite 6. I forgot to show you guys this one the other time when I showed you all my Lite 6s because it was in my car. But I don't carry it, but it was in my car. But it wasn't the thing. This is my oldest Lite. And it's not the oldest handle. The handle, it came off on one that I got off of eBay, and it was kind of messed up a little bit. And so this is my first attempt to take off the finish off of it. And when I got tired of sanding it, so I got to a certain point, I said, you know what, that kind of looks kind of cool. And so I just polished it out, not all the way finished. And that's what it ended up. It's been like that ever since. And this blade came off a old Lite. That was my first Lite. And I don't know, you guys probably seen it a long time ago. But I polished it out a long time ago, like, you know, maybe 10 years, 10 years ago, maybe, I don't know, a long time ago. And so after I did this handle, I just decided to put this blade on this handle. But this is the only one that you guys didn't see. That's my other Lite. And this one is super fast. That's my fastest one. It's even faster than my newest one. My babies. I love my Lites. I love my Lites. If you don't have a Lite, you should get a Lite. And if I ever have to carry a Lite, this is the one I carry. My Lites. But anyway, the American Lawman, my favorite little knife, my favorite 3.5-inch blade. And a lot of times when I carry this one, it's because I'm at work or whatever. And I'll take this one sometimes too. This is my mini Lawman. CTS XHP blade also. This is my favorite tiny, I call it a micro knife. This is my favorite little knife. The Lawmen are pretty much my work knives. These are knives I carry to work. Alright people, well, that's all I got for you today. I want you all to stay safe, take care of yourselves. Try to find something to do, get some hobbies or something. Try to find something to do in your house or whatever. Spend time with your kids. Do some interesting thing with your kids. Spend time with your wife or your husbands, whatever you may have. Your spouse, should I say? Maybe I should just say spouse. Spend time with your spouse. Gotta be politically correct in today's times. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. Peace out. Hope everybody's doing okay. Peace. Stiletto.